Teenagers, so you know they in it. Yo, they just rolled him up. You know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. His brother hears what's going on. His mother hears what's going on. His mother calls 911. His brother goes grabs a gun. When his brother comes downstairs, where they at? With the pistol, who do you think is in the front yard? The police. Drop the gun. He didn't drop the gun because he's going with emotion, and they shot him once in the chest. I'm sitting literally around the corner. So I hear it goes on, I pull up, I come to get to him, they have him handcuffed. He's shot in the chest. I tell the police, take the cuffs off. The officer looked at me. He was whiter than white. You understand? Yeah. And I'm not talking about race. I'm talking about he was scared. So when I looked at this story, I'm like, yeah, he definitely did for his life. I'm like, listen, shot in the chest. It's not going anywhere. You go down, you take your handcuffs off. One thing that I never forget is the look on his face and the way his hands was trembling, taking off the handcuffs. This guy was shot in the chest. And literally all the blood that's pouring out of his heart is covered on the officer's hand. So you know what he got to do when he go back to the precinct? Wash blood off his hands. That's something to think about. All right? Now, he took the handcuffs off. And since I got there so fast, this kid kind of still had a pulse. When I cut his shirt open, right side of his, left side of his chest, it's pumping his life out of him. And it's cold outside, so you see the steam coming from the blood as it hit the ground. Pumping. Did I stop that bleeding? No. He hit him in the heart. This is a dead kid. This kid is gonna die. You understand? But we did what we can. We did CPR. We tried to stop the bleeding, but there's certain situations you just can't help. This is the pure definition of an arterial bleed. Because every time his heart pumped, it killed the body. And there's nothing you can do about it. There's no way you could have stopped it unless I was a surgeon and cut him open and give him 18 pints of blood right there on the scene. Other than that, you're looking at it on straight. But I'll never forget the way that officer looked. So I look at it and yes, I'm blind. I think we all see that. So every time I look at TV and something's going on, I have to analyze every situation. Because I'm not looking at it like the outside civilians look at it. You understand? I have to look at it. There's a lot of mental people out there. What is he doing? He did what? Oh man, they should have did what? Taser. What are you talking about? All right, and then you have those situations where it's blatantly obvious they shouldn't get there. Or what's to happen? So you guys as medical responders, we get into it, you'll see it at a different way than what we used to see. But not to get off topic, arterial bleeds is very difficult to stop. I put a lot of pictures here because I like pictures. So I put a lot of pictures there. It makes it obvious because you don't have to know any particular language in order to see what you should be doing. So if the person is bleeding, the first thing you see this EMT doing is what? He putting pressure. Not only is he putting pressure, but he elevated it too. Now we don't do elevation as much because there's not a lot of science behind saying elevating the arm actually helps. Because if that person is jacked up on cocaine and got stabbed in the ball phone, you can elevate it all you want. The heart rate is going crazy. You understand? So put pressure is the number one thing. So we apply pressure. Notice that this EMT took his BSIs, has on his gloves. The bleeding won't stop even with the dressing. So if the bleeding won't stop even with the dressing, you apply a tourniquet. Guys, when you guys apply a tourniquet, you're going to do a high and tight. High and tight when you put the tourniquet on. Somebody show me a tourniquet right now. bleeding right now. Who get tourniquet? No one has a tourniquet? Good, your t-shirt, what else? Your belt. You have your belt. Guys, I told you, saving lives is easy. It's easy. I'm not LeBron James. I wish I could play basketball like that. I wouldn't be here right now. All right?
Make it better.
But, yeah, right? I appreciate that. But one thing that we all can learn is how to save life. And it's not easy. It's that you got the shoestring. The only thing about the shoestring is it's a little too thick. So you can try it. Maybe you could trip a movement or something like that, but it's too thin. It's too thin. You need something thicker, like the belt. If you rip your pants, rip your shirt, this is called improvising. So you can improvise definitely. And you can save a life with that. Alright? Notice that they laid the guy flat. They laid him down so that, guys, even when I'm standing, my heart have to adjust for gravity. If I lay down on the ground flat, my heart don't have to fight gravity in order to push the blood to my head. Very simple. Very simplistic techniques. But it's things that we tend to forget. Or we take advantage of. Alright, what's that happen? So, when they lay the guy flat, the heart doesn't have to pump as hard. And when the blood pressure is kind of low, it starts to clot even better. So that'll help it out. So keep those things in mind. Alright, we're going to practice called bleeding control in just a second. The other pictures that you guys see is just different ways that you can do your wraps. If you have an issue with the way that you wrap someone for bleeding control, what can you do to reinforce this? After today, and I'm going, and you want to do bleeding control, what can you do to reinforce this?
Put another one. Put another knot.
No, what can you do to reinforce this lecture?
Oh, make it tight. Practice.
How you gonna practice? You don't have to. What can you do on the way home? You literally can YouTube this. Bleeding control. Literally. Right? Literally, you can YouTube it. Your child is about to have a procedure. I don't know. I just said something so technically. I don't know what it is. Write it down on a piece of paper, doc. And then you literally go home and you do it. YouTube it. Let them explain it. Look at other people with views on it. Bleeding control. Oh, Pearson. Pearson is the book that wrote it. Yeah. Yeah, this is ridiculous. Seal that area using the plastic all on the board. You seal the area. Then when I get there, I'll be all happy because I got like a piece this big. I put it in the dust. Then it goes. Wounds are concerned. When you have amputation, oh my God, you got fingers. Okay, you do it. It's fun. Alright, so when we look at amputation, the smaller the amputation, the worse it is for that limb to be replaced. For example, if I have a clean cut of an amputation of my thigh, clean, the surgeons go around, they play around, they'll be able to stitch it. They got so much muscle, so much stitch. So they should be able to reconnect. They should deal with it. As long as it's clean. If it's jagged, like for example, if a train ran over the person's leg and cuts it clean, if the fact is jagged, like I was ran over by 3 cars on the parkway, and now my leg is amputated and it's all jagged, bricked up, it's not likely they're going to be able to replace that. Because the body has defense mechanisms. It's really an awesome machine. It's the best machine that we have on this planet, is the human body. This thing prepared 4 if your leg is cut off. And what it does, it pulls the artery back and it closes it. So it's called shunting. So it can prevent your blood loss. So if my leg was to get cut clean, right now, the artery is going to pull back and it's going to close. So it can start to clot. You understand? If it's jagged and ripped up, like in a meat grinder, you can't shunt. You can't do it. Because it's all ripped up. Oh, what's that happening? That bleeding is extremely difficult to help. What we can do is apply a tourniquet. And when we apply a tourniquet, we have to make sure it's what? High and make sure it's tight. So we put that tourniquet on, it's high and it's tight. If the tourniquet is not controlling or stopping the bleeding, put another tourniquet on it. Put it above that. Alright? Amputations, you're gonna keep cool. We used to put it on ice. But now the doctors used to get mad because, put so much ice and get frostbitten. Alright, we're not trying to freeze the leg. We're not trying to freeze the finger or what's happening. You just want to keep it cool. So wrap it and dress it all in like a sheet. A clean sheet. Wrap it in a sheet, dress it, or something underneath it, and just simply keep it cool. Put ice on top of it, or you can put it in the refrigerator. Alright, I remember one fall I had a guy who was involved in a street fight. And I was off duty. And they cut his ear off. I took the ear, I went into the corner store. I was like, yo, Bobby, I need the ice. You trying to charge me? What's this? Like, nah, look, I gotta get, take the ice. Because I showed him the ear. You need the ice for the ear. And then I put it in, what's that? We wrapped it up in a paper towel, put it on ice. EMS came, they took him to the hospital, they reattached the ear. Okay, so keep those things in mind. So we just want to keep it cool. We just want to keep it cool. Inhale, outlet. So we see that outlet inhale or it's stuck in the person. Don't pull it out. Don't pull it out. Okay? It's like John Wick. You guys remember John Wick? Yeah. You guys remember John Wick, huh? You put the knife in him and told him, consider it a professional criminal. If he would have pulled that knife out on the dream, he'd have bled to death. But the knife staying in there actually kept him alive. Alright? Because it kept that he didn't jeopardize the integrity of the vessel. Alright? So the moment you would have pulled it out, or you pulled this stick out, this blade, or that knife off the chest, the person could bleed to death. Very rapid. Trust me, you don't want to. There's different degrees of thickness of burns. The main thing, guys, that you guys can do to help save a life with burns is stop the burning process. I'm gonna see that. If I'm on fire, what should you do? I'm on fire. So jump the fire out. That's the first thing that you guys can do. Look, guys, these hands are made out of like so easy to get infection after you get done. So easy. Most patients die from the infection itself, and not the burns itself, but from the infection itself. Alright? Next is squinting. Squinting is basically immobilizing the area. So when you squint the area, you can utilize multiple things. For example, stroke splints. We got pillows, blankets, towels, bags, dressings, triangle bandages, things small. Alright? These things are very easy in order to construct. Joint injuries are where we want to use things like pillows. So if I injure my knee, I injure my elbow, wrist, ankle, those are things that you want to put pillows on. If I fracture my leg, and it's an open fracture, meaning it broke the skin, the first thing you need to do is control the bleeding. So if it's bleeding, make sure you dress it. We're going to go over dressing right now. We're going to have an opportunity to practice it. But make sure you dress it. After you dress control with Swinson's. We're not orthopedic surgeons. You're not replacing the bone. The body is going to heal itself. All we need to do is stabilize the area. Meaning, if I broke my leg, don't pick me up and have my leg dangling all over the place. Understand? All right? You're going to support the area. Support the leg. I probably need that maybe a skull fracture. But support the area. Support the leg. That's the main thing about it. All right? We have any questions about bleeding control or Swinton? All right, good.